Hey everybody, what is up? It's the Tominator here. So in this one today, I wanted to feature an example of some outstanding lighting at a bodybuilding competition. And this is in the form of the 2013 EVLS Prague Pro. So here we have Kai Greene in the center, who ended up winning the show, Dexter Jackson on the left, who finished in second, and Branch Warren over there on the right, who took third. So this is the top call out from that event. And as you can see already, you can catch all these little details that would otherwise be lost if the lighting wasn't so good. So, I mean, right off the bat, just look at Kai's legs. You can see all these little veins snaking through them. You can see some separation. You can see some striations over there in Branch Warren's teardrop and his quadricep. And look at Dexter, you know, just from head to toe, you see vascularity, you see some hard muscle maturity. And when he turns around, it's going to be quite outstanding. And when Kai flexes those world-class wheels, we're in for a treat. So I wish every single bodybuilding competition had these sorts of optimal conditions, because this makes it so much easier to judge from, because we can see these finer details, you know? And that conditioning aspect is really so crucial in today's bodybuilding in determining the placements of these guys, right? That's really what separates the champions from the runner-ups and the mid-tier guys. Is often it just comes down to a matter of conditioning. Who's the most defined? Who's the driest? Who's got that grainy muscle maturity that the judges look for? So without being able to see these things, it makes it, number one, a lot more confusing as a spectator as to what the hell is going on. And number two, we can't even appreciate these guys' physiques like how we ought to be able to. So let's go through some poses and you'll see what I'm talking about. And I mean, I really can't get over Kai's wheels in this show. They're just amazing. He even puts Branch Warren to shame, and that's been Branch Warren's claim to fame, is his world-class wheels. But Kai's are even better here. Now, keep in mind, this is a washed-up Branch Warren. He's well past his prime. He was on the way out the door. This is pretty much like stage 1 Palumboism for Branch, so it was not him in his finest form. But he still has some impressive attributes, you know, some impressive amount of muscle thickness and density, and, you know, the detail. His legs are still pretty good. But overall, it's obvious Kai's winning the show, and he's winning this front double biceps pose because he's just overwhelming these guys with size. Now, Dexter is the most aesthetic, I would say, and he is the most defined from head to toe. But Kai is just on another level when it comes to the mass. And in certain poses like the front lat spread, he absolutely puts Dexter to shame. This is pretty much about as good of a front lat spread as you can get from Kai. The only things that I would like to see that would make it absolutely legendary would be some striations through the pecs, and really that's about it, honestly, because his arms and shoulders look really good. He's got the wide set shoulders. He's got incredible flare and thick, not thickness, but width through the lats. You can see there's like almost no gap between his arms and his back. And the legs are just some of the best ever. I don't think I've ever seen Kai's legs look quite as good as they do here. And I think, again, that comes down to the lighting, because I don't think that this is Kai Greene's best shape ever. I don't think he's at his driest or his hardest or his best conditioned. But it often appears like he is, simply because the lights are making him look so damn good. So Dexter looks underwhelming, as always, in the front lat spread, but this is a pose that I think Dexter looks absolutely sensational in at this point in his career, and that is the side chest. This has historically been one of Dexter's strongest poses because he hits it so well. As long as his midsection is not too distended, like it is here, it's not, you know, it's pretty flat for him, especially compared to how it is in recent years. So as long as he keeps that in check, he looks amazing in this pose, because he just kind of nails it the way he's hitting it. He's showcasing the pecs perfectly. His legs look just tremendous. So much detail there in his side leg, even better than Kai's. And I would even say Branch Warren looks better than Kai in this pose, because Kai just does not hit this one very well. He's not showcasing his pecs very well at all. They look a little bit small. As, you know, his arm and shoulders look enormous, but his massive stomach looks bigger than his pecs here, and hell, he's even showcasing his calves better than his chest. So just not an effective pose for Kai Greene. I've never liked the way that he hits the side chest. It's funny because we all know Kai's such an expert poser, but for whatever reason he just kind of struggles in certain mandatory poses like the side chest and the rear lat spread. But in the back double bicep, this is one of his stronger ones, and he's going to kind of just slam the door on these guys, in my opinion. even though Dexter's showing better detail, Kai's just too big. It's as simple as that. You know, he's reasonably close when it comes to the definition, but he's just dwarfing these guys. Look at the Christmas tree from Dexter, though. Are you kidding me? It's got branches, man. It's got branches in that tree. So these are the sorts of amazing, intricate details that we would otherwise not even be able to see if the quality of this footage and the lighting wasn't so dang good. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. You know, I wish every show could be like this. I really do. It would just make watching these events so much more fun. But again, Kai looks pretty good here. His back does look always a little washed out in this pose, but the lower body's pretty exceptional. He's got amazing calves and hamstrings and glutes, really good thigh sweep. And he's got the width. He just doesn't have much detail. But look at the lower lat thickness, though. It's crazy. I still prefer Dexter in that one, though. I just think he's got a more pleasing shape, a better V taper than Kai. Look at Kai there, though, with the tricep. He's got striations there. And the side of his leg looks amazing. When he turns a little bit to the front, look at the feathering there. Are you kidding me, man? Look at the feathering in the outer end of the quad, man. It's just crazy. This is like Jay Cutler on his best day could not outdo this, I'm telling you. Now, could he tie it? Maybe, but he's not going to best Kai when it comes to the feathering in the quads there. And that was really one of Jay Cutler's greatest strengths and his hallmarks, was all the feathering that he had in his quads. But Kai's got just as good. And his legs are bigger than Jay's, I think, ever were. So look at that ab and thigh shot. Look at these quads. I just cannot get over Kai Greene's legs in this show. They're just absolutely some of the best I've ever seen. Dexter Jackson in the ab and thigh, though, I think looks really good. His stomach is ever so slightly distended, but it's not enough to throw him off. Like, his flow's still very good. I just would like to see more separation in the quads. Branch Warren looks pretty good as well for him. And in the most muscular here, we're going to see one of the most aesthetic hands class versions from Dexter there. Even that left arm, which often looks smaller than the right, looks, if anything, bigger. So he looks just incredible in this one here. And in the crab as well when he gets into that in a moment. Look at this crab shot from Dexter. Just amazing stuff. The way he's able to pop his traps like that really adds an element of flair and that flash factor that most people just don't have. Look at even Branch over there. Look at his pecs come to life. Look at all the veins and stuff snaking through his pecs and his traps, his delts, his arms. The guy's just a freak. And I mean that in a good way right now because I think he actually does look pretty good. Certainly not aesthetic. I'd like to see his arms bigger. But, I mean, you can't deny the level of mass and just thick slabs of muscle on the dude. He looks pretty impressive. Look at the feathering again from Kai. Just crazy stuff. So this is what I'm talking about with the lighting, guys. I mean, it really makes a huge difference in the appearance of these guys' physiques. So in case you're wondering, there's a handful of other shows that come to mind off the top of my head that also had exceptional lighting. The 1992 and 1993 Mr. Olympias were great. Same with the 2009. The 1996 German Grand Prix, it had like a legendary all-star lineup of 90s bodybuilders, and they all looked amazing because the lighting was damn near magical in that show. The 1999 British Grand Prix, it had this really kind of dark background. It was very dark, but then the lights were extremely bright, so it had this interesting contrast that really created an amazing silhouette factor with these guys' physiques and made them all look like 20 pounds heavier than they really were. So that was another cool one to check out. The 2002 Night of Champions was also exceptional. That's where Marcus Rule came out like a shredded monster like we'd never seen before, and it was pretty amazing stuff, but a lot of that was due to the amazing lighting as well. So those are just a couple examples off the top of my head, and for contrast, if you want to see a show with absolutely terrible, god-awful lighting, go check out the 2008 Mr. Olympia because it was so dark. These guys were just kind of hidden in shadow and you couldn't see anything. You couldn't make out any detail on their physiques. It was terrible. So that's all for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed. And if you guys know any other shows that had exceptional lighting, please let us know in the comments down below. But thank you for watching. And until next time, I'm the Tominator signing off, and I'll be back.